Surya Bahal, Assistant Professor in Chemical Engineering Department at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. The subject that we are going to continue is Mass Transfer Operations 2. So, moving forward, let's get back to again drying chapter. Okay. So now in this lecture we will study about the mechanism of batch drying, right? We studied about the types of dryer on the mode of operation. They were what? Batch and continuous dryer, right? So now we will study about the mechanism of such drying. Okay, so in batch drying also you have two types of mechanism. First is cross circulation drying and second is through circulation drying, right? So moving forward with cross circulation drying. Okay, this is part of what? Batch drying. So the main aim of cross circulation drying, okay, what the gist of this topic is that you will get a relationship between mass transfer and heat transfer. Okay, how heat transfer is important. Okay, how heat transfer aids to carry out the mass transfer. Here mass is transferring of what? Of vapor from your wet solid to your drying media, that is air. Okay, so now first of all when we are starting the drying, okay, the first period which we get is constant rate period. So in constant rate period, surface evaporation is happening. Okay, because your surface it behaves as a liquid film because that much amount of moisture is present. Okay, so now here mass and heat transferring is occurring. Okay, so first of all, what is the mass transfer? That is liquid diffusion is occurring. So your mode is what? Diffusion. Liquid diffusion is happening. Okay, diffusion of what? Diffusion of vapor from the liquid film. See, on your drying surface, okay, on your drying solid, in the surface, just a thin film is there, okay, which is which is formed over the liquid, okay. So that is saturated with what? Vapors of liquid. So here diffusion of that vapor will occur to the bulk of dry air, right? Then the second is heat transfer. Of course, heat is also transferring. See, here try to understand that your heat transfer is not the main mechanism here. The main mechanism is the mass transfer, but heat transfer aids here. It helps to carry out the mass transfer, right? So your heat transfer, from where it happens? From your air to the liquid surface, okay, by the mode of convection. Note down. Heat transfer, the modes are what? Conduction, convection, radiation. The mode which plays important role here is what? Convection mode. So heat is transferring from your air to your liquid surface. Now here we are assuming that conduction and radiation mode of heat transfer are negligible, right? So now let's relate here that the rate of evaporation, okay, evaporation of what? Water, rate of evaporation per unit area, okay. We are considering area here, so we are discussing about what? Flux. So rate of evaporation per unit area and rate of heat transfer, they are related as Nc lambda is equal to Q. Okay, it means that the latent heat of vaporization, okay, that is used to carry out the evaporation. So rate transfer becomes equal to rate of vaporization. So here try to understand Q is what? Q is the overall heat transfer which is happening. The heat which is available, that is used by your moisture to vaporize it, and that is what? Nc lambda, right? So Nc lambda, that is the mass transfer, is equal to Q. Q is again what? That is your heat transfer rate, right? So you can see this is the mechanism of batch drying via cross circulation drying. Okay, from cross circulation you can imagine your gas is flowing horizontally and the vapors are coming out vertically. So cross circulation is happening. Okay, so here your hot radiating surface is given. So radiation heat transfer would be what? QR. Convection heat transfer is what? QC, from air to liquid surface. Okay, two different phases are there. Then conduction, if your tray is also heating here, then conduction will happen, okay, from solid to solid, right? But here we are assuming that your radiation heat transfer and conduction heat transfer are negligible. So you can see that the gas which has velocity as g, okay, mass velocity, the unit would be what? In kg per second. It would be having some temperature, dry bulb temperature, and humidity would be there. So the drying surface again, its drying surface, the area is what? A, its temperature is what? Ts. That would be wet bulb temperature. We will study further. So this way you will be starting your derivation, right? So first of all, here the heat transfer by convection is what? that is equal to Hc into Tg minus Ts. Try to relate your heat transfer subject here, okay? Because the mode is what? Convection. So Hc is what? That is your heat transfer coefficient, okay? So and Tg is what? Tg is your dry bulb temperature of air, and Ts, that is the temperature of wet surface, okay? Your wet surface means that is your wet bulb temperature, okay? So now, so rate of drying, it will become as, see the equation was what here, Nc lambda is equal to Q. So now instead of Q, what you are substituting? You are substituting H into Tg minus Ts. So Nc is what? That is your rate of drying. So that is equal to H into Tg minus Ts upon lambda, that is latent heat of vaporization. Okay. Now your Nc, okay, in terms of mass transfer coefficient, you can also represent it as Kg into Ps minus Pg. Okay, see here, try to relate your mass transfer operation 1, okay, in the mass transfer coefficient which you studied in MT1. So revise it and try to relate here. Nc is what? That is your rate of drying, okay. So that is one kind of mass transfer. So we are relating in terms of mass transfer coefficient. Now, that here concentration was difference is represented in form of pressure difference. In terms of your humidity, again your mass transfer coefficient will change. Instead of Kg, you will what substitute? You will substitute Ky. Hence Ky into Ys minus Y. So the notations are, your Ps is what? Vapor pressure of water at surface temperature. And your Pg is what? That is the partial pressure of water vapor in air stream. Okay. Similarly, in terms of Ys also you get your, that is your humidity, okay, at saturation condition, and Y is the humidity in your air. So this is the relation which you have to remember, okay. So now from this equation we can relate some important deductions. First is that your rate, that is directly proportional to temperature difference, okay. Another is that your rate, that is again proportional to the concentration difference, okay, the difference in humidity or pressure difference. Okay. Now another is that your rate is directly proportional to heat transfer coefficient. That H is what? That is a heat transfer coefficient. Now again you try to relate the Seedat rate equation. Okay, the correlations between fluid flow, heat transfer and mass flow. What is there? That your H, heat transfer coefficient, that is function of mass velocity or linear velocity. Okay, the representation via Sherwood number or Nusselt number. So try to understand in heat transfer also you might have studied that. Okay, the representation was what? Seedat rate equation, okay, for laminar or turbulent flow. So H is function of what? Mass velocity or linear velocity. That Nc is directly proportional to g raised to 0.8. This you have to remember, okay. Or your Nc is directly proportional to u raised to 0.8. U is what? That is your linear velocity. G is your mass velocity. So hence I can say that the factors which are affecting here, okay, the factors which are affecting your constant drying rate are, first of all, air temperature. As Nc is directly proportional to a temperature difference, okay. So if you increase the air temperature, if you are using very high temperature air to carry out the drying, then the difference between those temperatures will increase. It means your rate of drying will also increase. Clear? Similarly about air humidity. Again, your drying rate is directly proportional to difference in the humidity, okay, in the concentration difference. So if you are increasing the humidity of air, okay, more saturated air you are using, okay, that it is already moist, then the quantity Ys minus Y will what? Decrease. It means concentration, the difference has been decreased. Now as the rate is directly proportional to concentration difference, so your rate will again decrease, right? Now air velocity. The rate of drying is proportional to this relation, right? So if you are increasing the velocity of air, it means your mass transfer coefficient is increasing. So mass transfer coefficient is increasing, it means your rate will also increase. Now the thickness of drying solid. What is the thickness? Okay. More the thickness, then here conduction will come into account. Okay. So when conduction of heat through the solid occurs, if you are taking that your conduction is also occurring, okay, then your rate that will decrease if you are increasing the thickness of drying solid. Okay. So now the next topic is your through circulation drying. Okay, this is also another kind of in your batch mechanism. Okay, in the batch drying, this is another kind of mechanism. Now here what we are trying to do, here we are trying to relate the solid thickness with your drying rate. Okay, so when a thick bed of solid is dried, then your air is passed through it. Okay, so different zones would be there of drying. Okay, like constant rate period is there, then falling rate period. Those are the different kind of rate which are available. But the zone here is what? Unbound moisture drying, bound moisture drying. Okay, so when the gas enters, okay, when the gas enters through that thickness of the solid, then what is drying here? Unbound drying occurs. Okay, unbound means your solid is saturated with liquid. Okay, so gas at that time, that would be at its adiabatic saturation temperature. Okay, that will show you the maximum amount of drying that can occur. Okay, so the rate of drying is constant here, and it slowly falls now when the bed becomes saturated, because when the bed becomes unsaturated, because most of the moisture has been removed. So first, when you are carrying out your drying, okay, in this thick bed, first of all constant rate period is followed, and then the rate decreases because most of amount of your moisture has been removed. Now here try to understand that when you're drying here, so the gas after drying, that the temperature would be what? Adiabatic saturation temperature. If the temperature of that gas is adiabatic saturation temperature, it means that is the maximum drying rate. Okay, so if fully wet is there, then your constant rate period is there, right? Now try to understand, these are the zones. Okay, so you can see that the zone of unbound moisture drying is the smallest. Okay, because very fast your wet solid, it gets unsaturated. Okay, most of the liquid has been removed from it, and then unsaturated condition is there in your drying solid. So that is the small zone of your drying. Whereas you can see that the zone of bound moisture is large. Okay, so here let's move to the derivation part. So here you can see that, so first of all consider that the gas of humidity Y1 enters the bed at a moisture free flow rate of Gs. So here Gs is what? It is the mass flow rate of dry air. No amount of moisture is present. Okay, we are taking the calculation in form of Gs, in form of dry air. But it would have some moisture Y1. But your mass velocity is what? That is for dry air only. So the maximum drying rate is N max if the gas leaving the bed is saturated at adiabatic saturation temperature. Okay, your gas leaving the bed is saturated. Most amount of liquid has been transferred to your gas. It is saturated. Okay, the saturation level has been achieved, but the temperature is what? Adiabatic saturation temperature. Then the humidity is what? YAS. So here try to recall your adiabatic saturation temperature from humidification. Okay, it is the enthalpy of your inlet and outlet air is same. Okay, no change in energy is happening. You are not increasing the temperature here. Okay, adiabatically at constant temperature, okay, without supplying heat, your air is getting saturated. Okay, and the decrease in temperature will occur, right? So that is what adiabatic saturation temperature, and the correspondingly humidity would be what? YAS. So N max is equal to, that is the maximum rate of drying, that would be Gs into YAS minus Y1. Okay, if it is not up to adiabatic saturation temperature, then your rate would be N is equal to Gs into Y2 minus Y1. Clear? Now, so for a differential section, okay, of the bed where the change in humidity for incoming air of humidity Y1 is dy and leaves at a humidity of Y. Now as we are talking about the thickness, okay, so from end to top your humidity will vary. From top to bottom, of course, humidity will vary. In drying, we studied about the liquid diffusion through solid. Okay, within the pores of solid also liquid diffusion occurs. Okay, so you can say that from within the height, the humidity will be different. So hence you are taking what? A differential section to carry out the calculations, right? So here you can see that the dN, okay, the rate of drying for that small section, that is equal to Gs into dy. See here why Gs is coming, not dg, because you have already taken mass velocity of dry gas. Here no, you are not considering moisture in your velocity, hence Gs is constant, but dy is in differential because your level of humidity is changing along the height. So hence substituting the values, you get is equal to ky ds into yas minus y. Okay, try to understand what you are doing. You are representing your rate in form of mass transfer coefficient form, right? Hence ky ds into yas minus y. Your ds is what? That is your interfacial surface area. Okay, So now surface S is what? That is your interfacial surface per unit area of bed cross section. Now here ds is what? Okay, you are representing ds in form of interfacial area. So ds is equal to A into dz. A is the interfacial area per unit volume and Zs is the bed thickness. Now then after substituting, we are doing the integration. Okay, so here you can see that in terms of y you are doing the integration. So dy limit is what? Your here difference is what? Yas minus y. Okay, and your limit is what? Y1 to y2. Okay, and from 0 to Zs, that is the height. Okay, you are integrating it. So what you get, ln Yas minus y1 upon Yas minus y2 is equal to ntg. What is ntg? That is the number of gas phase transfer units in bed. Okay, now here you represented your thickness in form of stages. Okay, suppose a very big thickness of solid is there. Now you have represented in form of what are the stages which are required here. Okay, you have divided your thickness in form of stages. So this is the final relationship. Okay, see YAS, what is the YAS? That is the maximum limit up to which you can carry out your drying, right? So now what we are doing, we are trying to find a relationship between maximum drying rate and the normal drying rate at which you can carry out your operation. So that is n upon n max is equal to 1 minus exponential of minus ntg. Okay, so comparing with maximum drying rate, you get this relationship between drying rate and gas phase transfer unit.